So now all of the poppers are, well, the jalapenos are ready to be filled, and I already got my mix ready, so let's fill these up. Since my cheese it's like cold in here, even though I have on the burners, it's a little cold, so my cheese is just the right like thickness, and I also have bacon in here. Just so you guys know, what I put in my cream cheese mixture is, 1 block of cream cheese, and then I shred some cheddar cheese and put that in there, and then I actually added some fresh fried bacon that I was cooking in the beginning of this video, and then I add a little bit of seasoned salt. Not too much, because the bacon is going to salt it up, but just enough Lori's to add that, southern touch. Okay, so I have a bowl of fresh buttermilk. You can use whatever milk you've got. If you don't like buttermilk, you can just use regular milk. Now, once these are all stuffed with the cheese like you see here, you're just gonna take these and dip them in your milk, just like that. And the reason I like buttermilk is because it adheres. You can see it's nice and thick and it coats. And we're gonna let that drip off. I don't really let these dry too much once I've got the milk on them, but what I'm gonna do is take my flour mixture, dip them in the flour, just like that. And now it's nice and coated. Dip it back into your milk mixture. So now you can see it's like extra thick. And then I'm gonna roll it in the breadcrumbs. I know some people wait for this, but I don't necessarily wait unless I'm using like thin milk, like for the times that I don't have buttermilk. Okay, pat it on there, just like that. And now it's nice and coated, you can see, and we're just gonna let this dry like this on this wax paper that I have here. So we're gonna repeat that process for each one. So dip into your milk. Dip into your flour. Dip into your milk one more time, and then coat with the breadcrumbs. When I'm frying, I like to use Crisco. Every once in a while, I will use some Wesson. When you're making these poppers, you don't need a ton of grease. Just enough to like cover, the half, 1/2. And then I also add, I like to use a little bit of Crisco shortening too. I will mix the shortening and the cooking oil because in my opinion, it just cooks better and a little crispier. Get this out. And how much you use is going to be determined by, how many poppers you're cooking, how big your pan is, and that sort of stuff. But for this, I only have about, let's see, 2, 4, 6, and about 15 pieces. So I'm not going to need a ton of Crisco, shortening. Thank God that's not hot yet. And let's just turn that on. I like to heat my oil up on high, and then I will turn it down after about the first minute goes by, because you don't want to put your poppers in like piping hot grease, because then they'll just burn on the outside and they won't be delicious. And last but not least, I like to use Carapelli, EVOO, or the first press. This isn't the first press, but this is still pretty good. And I'm just going to put a little bit in there. And this adds a little more crispiness and golden. So, that's up to you. So now that our oil is heating up, we're almost ready to get started. So how to tell if the grease is hot enough? This is what I do. I just take a little bit of flour and I'll go like that. And if it wisps away, then it's good. I hear a little bit of crackle. Let me throw a little bit of dough in there and see what happens. We need about 30 more seconds. All right, looks like my grease is good to go. These have been sitting for about 20 minutes. Ooh, yum-o. One thing I like about the jalapenos is if you leave the tails on them, it makes them much easier to handle. I mean, not the tails, the stems. And we can probably fit one more in there just for good measure, whatever the heck that means. And there we go. We're just gonna let those fry and turn them over probably in about 2 minutes. I don't wanna turn them just yet. All right, so let's check what it looks like on the bottom. And ooh, that's nice. That's the color that I want. I don't know what color you want, but that's the color I like mine to be before I flip them over. However you do this is up to you. I have kind of tough hands, been cooking all my life. I'm gonna roll that one, maybe. Now as these cook, I like to turn the heat down just a little bit. The one thing we don't want is the cheese to melt out. And that's why I turn the heat down just a little bit once I've turned them over. So let's let these cook for just about another minute or so. Okay, so I can see some of the cheese kind of bubbling out of one of these. But I'm gonna let it cook anyways because it's just a little bit. We're still kind of light on the other side. When you're cooking in a cast iron skillet or a heavy bottom stainless steel skillet or pan, the cooking is a little bit different than like a Teflon pan. So that's something that you're gonna need to determine. All right, well this batch is just about to ready to be pulled out. So let's take a look. Ooh, yummy. That is gonna be delicious. And I'm just gonna be serving these with some yummy homemade Hidden Hills Ranch dressing. I do like to eat my poppers with some freshly sliced avocado. And this one's been in the fridge, so it's gonna be extra cool. I just think that the avocado takes some of the heat away, and it just kind of freshens your palate for each piece of delectableness. And I've got my homemade ranch here. I like the creamy dill. It's so delicious. You guys ready? This is gonna be spicy. I already tasted just a little bit of the fried, like bread part on my fingers, and it's like, whoo, it's hot. Look at that. That is so yummy looking. It's going down the hatch. Let's do a little dippy dip. You gotta let these cool off. You don't want to put these in your mouth right out of the freaking fryer, because man, that's not good. Not only are they spicy, but then they're piping hot and extra spicy. Whenever you fry jalapenos, they get hotter. Woo! So worth it. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm DZ, your host. Until next time, peace out. Enjoy life, every single bit of it.